Hello and welcome. So, a new day is dawning. I have gone ahead and made some aesthetic modifications to the mining ship. Basically, just coated it in steel plates. Otherwise, it is the exact same ship. I adjusted a few of the lights to inset lights instead of what they were before, but that's about the only real change. And because of the armor, it is also now a little heavier. However, having a mining ship that can go out and gather a lot of ore really fast means it's time to finally go ahead and do something else. It's time to build the refinery. Now, previously, I had my refinery basically straight ahead, attached to my little home base, and that was fine, but not ideal. It's a perfectly okay way of doing things. However, my goal with this series is to have each building or each ship serve a single purpose, and having the refinery and assembler all part of the little residential area kind of defeats that purpose. So you can see right here, I have started laying out the foundations for the refinery. Additionally, if you look over here, you'll see I put another row of 3 wind turbines on, so I've got a total of 8 power in my base. And again, each of them has a battery in the base. So enough of that, let's go ahead and turn around and bring this guy down for the park. And slowly rotate him, and then bring him down. Alright, and I need to very carefully go down the entryway here. There we go. And now that I'm in place, I lock it. Ah, yes, and that's the one other thing that I did. I added an event controller that will detect when the connector is locked. It turns off the lights, sets the batteries to recharge, and sets the uh, thrusters to off. And then when it detects that it's unlocked, then it turns all those back on. So, enough of that. Close the hangar doors. And now it's time to come on over here. All right. So when we come over here, you'll see I decided to put together a nice large building. And what I decided to do with this building is I've decided that I want to go ahead and kind of have a little office space over here. The refineries themselves over here. A little airlock system going between them, just in case a door opens up, I'm not venting this whole large building. And of course, I needed to go ahead and connect my plumbing. So when I come on down here, see, I turn my light on. I've got the conveyor system coming up to here. I did go ahead and stick an oxygen tank in right here just to go ahead and store oxygen. Um, should not be needed for, while I am actually operating on the Earth-like planet. But when I eventually decide that I want to go ahead and go out into space, like to that planet there, ooh, shiny. Anyways, um, I want to have oxygen already easily accessible to go ahead and fill my ship with. So now that I've got that all in place, let me go ahead and put this in. And then to cap this off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on over here to the vent fans. And I'm going to switch to the battered armor and put a full air vent fan in facing this direction. And then the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come on over here and just put a short little ramp in really quick. So that way I can come grab things from my assembler. Alright, so the reason for the air vent fan here is I'm going to go ahead and put my little airlock between the refineries and the, what's it called, working area over here. And this is going to be the middle section. So when we come on over to the refineries, all right, so we've got two refineries available to us. The first one is this one, and you'll note there's a connector on the bottom, two on each side, and then if I rotate it, there's also one on the top. Then there's the industrial refinery, which has the one on the top, the two on each side, but it does not have the bottom connector. So that means that you either have to connect it from the top or from the sides. The upside of the industrial refinery, though, is that it does have kind of like this little ladder system or stairs. Which if I just place that right there, you can see how they go ahead and they come on up, allowing you to kind of go higher. Now, I could go ahead and place this kind of on this level, and that would mean that I don't need to go much higher. If I place it one level up, so basically I put a floor here, that's the same height as this, then that means it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 tall. And if I have this be kind of the floor here, and then a second level, I need to add another 2 blocks, so that's 3 tall. So after doing some debate, I decided I'm going to put 2 layers of blocks underneath this. But then comes the question of, what am I putting underneath? The other fun question is, if I'm putting things underneath, am I just putting armor blocks, or am I putting something more relevant? So let's go ahead here and just put this little square in place. And you can see right here, I am planning to put another little airlock. So let's go ahead and just wire that up really quick. And then I want to have this be my floor in here. Okay, and as mentioned, this one's going to be a little airlock, so let me go ahead and also place a pair of air vents over here. And then, actually, let me see here. I need to push this back one, I believe. No, that is correct. Right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, I need to place it back one. All right. So what I'm going to be doing here is when I come in here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So effectively, my goal here is that I want to be have the refinery, which is a 2x2, and then I need the section on the back for the yield modules or speed modules or whatever modules I want to put on, and then a little bit of space on the side just to, you know, not crowd it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and grab a conveyor. And let's go ahead and just make this the C. Place that right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and place 1, 2, some air vents over here. So effectively what I'm saying is I'm going to hook up this side first. Then, right here, we go ahead and grab some conveyors. And here I want the T's. And then, let's see here. Over here, might as well go ahead and just grab another air vent and have it face towards this area. So it's going to push air into this whole section here. So now that I've got all that, let me go ahead and add all of that to my build planner and weld it up. And might as well put a little ramp up there for me. There we go. All right. So now I've got the air vent for my airlock right here. And then I have air vents for the main refinery section. And I've got connectors all along the back right here. So now comes the question of what am I putting here? Well, I was giving it some thought, and I decided that I think the coolest thing to put here would be to go ahead and add these lab small hydrogen tanks. So you can see here we've got a connector on the bottom, and then when I put it here, a connector on the end. So there's two connectors on this lab small hydrogen tank. And if I rotate it like this, you can see both of them. And now if I put it here, you can see I can fit 4 of these right along here. And that's going to take these converters or connectors and put it in a row right here. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get the pieces that we need for these. And start welding things up. Alright. And once I finish up with these, I will go ahead and put another 4 up top. Now, why do I want all these hydrogen tanks? Well, the answer is fairly simple. I also want to go ahead and put some hydrogen engines in here. So I will have a refinery, pair of hydrogen engines, and then I will have a bunch of hydrogen tanks just to make sure that I can keep things running in case the wind dies down and those stop spinning again. All right, so let me go ahead and I'll pause for a minute and be back when I'm done with this section. All right, and we're back. So I went ahead and put together these Willis ducts. You can see I've got it 4 wide. I've got the air vent there, the air vent there, and then it is 3 deep. So I will have a section right here that's 3 by 4. I've got my little section here for my airlock, and then I have up all 8 of my hydrogen tanks. So what's next? Well, first things first, let me go ahead and just stick some more batteries in here, just in case. And then, if I come in here, let me go ahead and find my feed module there, and then hydrogen engine there. Alright. And then I want to go ahead and come on over here and grab this black color. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to have 2 batteries here, and then I will have a pair of hydrogen engines here. And if we look at them, you'll notice there's a connector on the end, and then when I rotate it out around, there's connectors on that side as well. So basically they have the same connections as these lab hydrogen tanks. And then I will go ahead and place my refinery on top of that. So I'll be back in a minute. Alrighty, and we are back. So, as you can see here, I have my hydrogen tanks over here. I have the hydrogen engines on each side, and then the batteries right here. So now, the next thing to do is I want to go ahead and put my refinery here. Hello, puppy. And I'm also going to go ahead and then connect the refinery up from this connector to the connector port that's going to be right there. So, let me go ahead and place that. Like so. And let's go ahead and need some interior plates. Need to stop come on. There we go. Alright. And now I can hop on over to this side. And just like that. So, right now I am not putting anything on the back because I have not found gold yet for the yield modules. So that space is going to be empty for a little bit. But otherwise, this is all set and ready to go, and I will be back when I am done welding. All right, and that didn't take long at all. So I did go ahead and add an extra little ladder right here, so I can now climb the stairs up to here, keep climbing on up to here, and there's access ports up here, and as you can see, it's all connected in through there and through here. So there we go. We've got one refinery up and a bad dog. So now I have to go ahead and take all of this and repeat it on this side. So I will be back in a bit. Alrighty then. And we are done. So I have the refinery set up over here and over here. I currently have the hydrogen engines set to off. I'm going to go ahead and put some vent controllers in. So basically my goal is when the batteries drop below, say, 20%, I will go ahead and turn the hydrogen engines on. And then when the batteries are above, say, 50%, I will turn the hydrogen engines off. That should be more than enough to make sure that everything is fully charged and everything stays running. But I don't have a good source of ice nearby, a couple small little veins underground, but no ice lakes or anything like that, so I don't want to rely too much on hydrogen. Oh, I missed two things, because they're hiding. Alright, let's weld those up really quick. Alrighty, so now that I have the industrial section built, the next thing that I need to do is I now need to go ahead, I need to connect up this side, and then I need to enclose it. So, how are we going to do that? Well, let's go ahead and start by coming on over here, and I want to grab myself a Willis Duct 2, so that way I can go ahead and, what's it called? Words. Words. Stop failing me. Oh yeah, so I can vent my airlock. And then I also need to go ahead and put a conveyor on over to here. So, you know what? Let's dig. Yep. All right, and there we have it. So right here is going to be the corner junction. So I need to go ahead, hop on up here, and grab a T, one, two straights, and I think two corners. There we go. Should be good enough. So I'm going to replace this with a T. And let's just check really quick that we are connected properly by seeing if I can pull stuff from here. Let me just grab some kelp crisps. There we go. Yep, so I'm connected on this side. So now I just need to run the piping on over to here. And here I want to go ahead and grab a corner. And a corner. And now I need to weld these before I do anything else. Three. And corner. And then a straight. There we go. And now that is all connected. And we can see that because these are starting to fill a little bit. Definitely need to go ahead and make a group of these hydrogen tanks and then hide that group, but that's a different story for later. So there we go. And now seal my hole in the ground. Woohoo! And
Energy low.
let's weld up this Willis duct. And yeah. Alright. So I'm going to go recharge my energy really quick. And yeah, we'll be back to put up the shell. Alright, and we are now back. And I want to go ahead and start by going ahead and putting up a little bit of the ribbing, this, in that black color. And because this base is so big, and I want this section to have windows, I don't really want the vertical ribbing kind of over here. It's going to block too much of the windows. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line right here. And then I will also put a line kind of over the top of the refineries. So let's go ahead and get to that. And I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I am now at the same height as the refinery. So now I can go ahead and grab this and then go across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Get the right color. Nope, not there. Alright. And then come back on over to this side. 6. Alright, there we go. So that's going to be the first set. Need a bunch more steel plates. And let me just check here really quick. Ooh, I need to build a lot more steel plates. Alright, let's come into production and just get on that. 41,000. Alright, well, should be barely enough. Alright. There we go. So we have the first arch. And then let's come on over here. And here I've got a choice. I can either try and put an arch in right here. And that's going to go up kind of right over this section. And we'll leave a space basically 3 wide here and then 2 wide on this side. Or I can push it out 1 to be on this. And let's not kill myself by falling off high buildings. Alright, let's try doing it in this spot. That's not what I meant to do. Whoops. So there are some downsides to having the grinder speed on really high. There. Perfect. Alright. Now then, I need to grab my black. And verify that these things are all painted. That was the wrong color. There we go. Alright. So now let's go ahead and stick these blocks down. And if I do this... Yeah, I'm okay with that. 2, 3... Nope. Let's do half blocks here. It won't stick out from here quite how I want it to, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I guess I will do this one. Doesn't quite line up how I like it, but close enough. Alright, and then we're going to do the same right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, now time to weld that up. Alrighty, so now that I've got my little greebling done, let's go ahead and finish welding up the shell. And I will be back in just a minute. Alrighty then. So I have the refinery section of the base all finished. Um, Basically now I just need to go ahead and put up that little dividing wall right here. And that's going to get that area fully closed off. So let's go ahead and take a quick tour around. So you can see I've got that black stripe going up. I do need, actually, let's go ahead and grab this really quick. Let's put a white stripe in right here. Oh, and I missed a spot, which is the other reason to do an inspection of your base. Because I probably have been going, why is it not pressurizing? Alright. And then we'll also do a second white stripe right here. There we go. Alright. White stripes in place. And you can see that the dock, or the entrance area here is a little bulkier than I'd really like, but I can live with it. Um, Other than that, you know, it's a big box. And then up here, if we look up here, you'll notice I went ahead and put, so these are half-size blocks here, full-size blocks with a black, and then right here I went ahead and put a little angle up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place some smokestacks here. So I can either go ahead and place something like this. And note, this is also why I couldn't go ahead and push that down, because then I would have a gap in my ceiling. So let's go ahead and start with green. And I'm going to color this kind of similarly to what I did for the windmills, and kind of do green, and then I will do a white. And then another layer of green. One, two. All right. Let's see how this looks. Because if I don't like the looks of this as a kind of smokestack, I'm going to go ahead and just grab some columns or something like that. All right. That looks big. That doesn't look right. All right. It was worth a try. So let's go ahead and take that down. There we go. Alrighty, so if I come on in here, I need to grab pieces for my columns. And if I go ahead and place them, say, here, one, two, three, four, and five. Does that look too much? That looks a lot better. Alright, then let's go ahead and just make these half slopes. That would be the good reason to go ahead and put it there instead, would be to have it over that, but I don't think that would seal, so I don't want to risk messing around with my air tightness. And as mentioned, it's got a little ceiling going in there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now let's go ahead and let's stick this one over instead here, so they're slightly offset. 2, 3, 4. Five. And I need to come on down here and grab some more pieces. Alright, so I've got my smokestacks completed. Woo! Non-OSHA compliant roof work. Oh well. Luckily OSHA doesn't exist in this world. Yet. Don't call them on me. Alrighty then. So, what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and grab another air vent and have this pushing out this way, and then grab some light armor blocks. Grab the pieces I need for that. Alright, so if I need to convey anything else in here, I can, or I can just bring it up from there to get more ventilation in this portion. But otherwise, let's break that off really quick. And set things up so I can walk up here. Okay, and then I should be able to go ahead and just armor up this section here. So let's get to that. Alright, and I want to leave a section about 3 wide there for my airlock, and I will have to delete that in a bit. There we go. So now I can go in here and I'm going to need a bunch more steel plates. Alright, let's get to welding. More steel plates. And I need to eat a snack.
Energy low.
Alrighty. And with that, I can now go ahead and put another cargo container right here, just to have nice, easy access to cargo. And then I'll put an armory on this side and some doors. So let's see here. Cargo container. Yep. And then on this side, I want the armory. Specifically this one, because I want it to seal. And then let's go ahead and grab what I need for this. Alright, and then grab all those components as well. Alrighty. And there we go. So, let's see here. If I step outside really quick. Oh, hello. I am highly accurate, as I'm sure you can tell. Alright, so it is cold outside with high O2. And now when I come in here, close the door, and now it's warm. So this is fully sealed. So let me go ahead and finish building this little section. And I might fiddle with some colors too. And then worry about getting some lights in here, because it's a little dark. And then I want...
Energy critical.
There we go. Alright, so I've got an airlock over here, and an airlock leading to the rest of the building, and I will come back with some lights in just a sec. Alrighty. And it's been a long day, clearly, but we can see the lights kind of shining through the walls a little bit, but not very well out here. This is the solid wall, and then we can come on over here, and again, you can see high O2 and it's cold. Come in here, close this airlock. You can see it changes from cold to warm, so we do have air pressure. Still warm in here, and now it is fully lit. So I went ahead and put some corner lights in. I might go ahead and put a little bit of catwalks in just to get off of this. Um, you know, make sure you've got railings, that sort of stuff. But otherwise, the refineries are up. Let's see here. What else do I need to do? Oh, yes, I need to go and add some event controllers. The event controllers, I need several of them for opening and closing the doors. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of doors for the refinery. Basically, I just want to go ahead and put something in that says, like, if the door opens, then after 2 seconds, close it. I think that'll work out a little bit better than the sensors I put in elsewhere. After all, it's not that hard to just press F when you get to a door. And then I also need an event controller set up so that way when my batteries are running low, then it will run the hydrogen engines and then turn the hydrogen engines off. Because these are more like backup generators. They're not supposed to be primarily powering my base. I have nowhere near enough ice to be able to pull that off. Other than that, I think that is everything. So, aside from going and sticking those event controllers in, I think next episode I need to go ahead and put the office together. And that's going to go kind of in this space. And to prevent myself from going ahead and always making boxes, because, well, I guess that's not a box, but let's be real, the boxes. I'm actually going to go ahead and have 2 stories for this side rather than the 3 stories that you see over here. So go ahead and put some office space and maybe like a little mess hall in. It's looking good. All right. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one.